in fact, if you look at what they've done in the past, I think they wanted an Islamic state. But that's the problem. Do the Iraqis want an or do they want a secular state? It is an Islamic state. The type of Islamic doctrines that have been pronounced by ISIL is a different one from all Islamic doctrines that they've seen before. So it's a difficult kettle of fish and a combustible relationship between the various factions. Unless, they are ready to declare their support to the state, it is difficult for any government to control them. Most of them are even, in fact, have better allegiance to the factions they come from than to the state as a whole. So these are the issues that will continue to disturb any ruling party in Iran unless these other issues are settled. There will be no way out of this, what we are seeing now.
Professor, thank you so much for speaking to us on The World Today. Professor Charles.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Professor Charles Dokubo is a research fellow at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs. Now, from one troubled spot still in the Middle East to the Islamic movement of Uzbekistan, which has claimed responsibility for Sunday's deadly assault on Karachi's international airport. The Uzbek militants who were fighting alongside the Pakistani Taliban posted photos of 10 men in black turbans holding AK-47 rifles who had sought revenge for military airstrikes. At least 39 people were killed in the airport raid, including all of the 10 gunmen. DNA tests are being conducted on the men who officials in Karachi said appear to be of Uzbek origin. Analysts say the Islamic movement of Uzbekistan, IMO for short, is a highly trained militant group with bases in the northwest Ziristan tribal region. It works closely with Al-Qaeda and Taliban militants and has previously carried out large-scale coordinated attacks in Pakistan, including one on Peshawar airport back in 2012. We'll take a break now on The World Today. When we come back, it will be a protest going on in Uganda over a new appointment by the United Nations, as well as Egypt's foremost activists being jailed. Please join us again. Welcome back to the program. The hunt for a fugitive billionaire wanted over April's seawall passenger ferry disaster is going on in South Korea. Thousands of South Korean police officers have stormed a religious complex in Anseong City belonging to Yoo Byung-eun, who is thought to own the firm that operated the sunken ferry. 4 church followers were detained on charges of assisting his escape. At least 292 people died in that ferry disaster.
South Korean police raided a religious community on Wednesday, seeking the arrest of a businessman linked to a ferry that sank and killed more than 300 people in April. More than 6,000 officials took part in the raid on the Baptist Anseong Church, co-founded by Yoo Byung-eun, whose sons ran the shipping company that owned the Sewol ferry. Yoo is wanted on charges of embezzlement, negligence, and tax evasion. The raid was launched a day after President Park Geun-hye said it made no sense that such a long and extensive search operation had failed to catch Yoo. Park's government has been sharply criticized over its handling of April ferry disaster. Yoo and his sons, one of whom is based in the United States, have eluded a police manhunt for nearly a month, spurring speculation that they may be trying to pay a shipbroker to take them to a country where Seoul authorities cannot reach them. Authorities last month increased tenfold the reward for information, leading to his arrest to the equivalent of $500,000. They have also frozen assets of the Yoo family, but news reports said there may be more still to be identified. The raid followed the opening on Tuesday of the trial of 15 surviving crew members in a courtroom packed with angry parents of some of the many students who died aboard the ferry. 4 officers face homicide charges after they were seen escaping the sharply listed vessel.
Well, going to the U.S. now, Majority Leader Eric Cantor suffered a shocking defeat in the Virginia Republican Party primary election. He lost a challenger from the hard-right Tea Party movement. The economics professor David Bratz defeated the second-ranking House of Representatives member by 56% to 44%. Analysts say Mr. Bratz's shock victory exposed conservative dissatisfaction with Mr. Cantor, who was first elected in 2000. Mr. Cantor had been widely favored to win, having raised significantly more money than Mr. Bratz. But Mr. Bratz attacked Mr. Cantor's record, including his support for some immigration reforms, and rallied enthusiastic members of the anti-tax conservative populist Tea Party movement in the low turnout race. The 51-year-old Mr. Cantor was first elected to Congress in 2000 after serving 9 years in the Virginia House of Delegates.
We need to focus our efforts as conservatives, as Republicans, on putting forth our conservative solutions so that they can help solve the problems for so many working middle-class families that may not have the opportunity that we have. I know there's a lot of long faces here tonight, and it's disappointing, sure. But I believe in this country. I believe there's opportunity around the next corner for all of us. So I look forward to continuing to fight with all of you for the things that we believe in, for the conservative cause, because those solutions of ours are the answer to the problems that so many people are facing today.
Now to here in Africa, the hunt for oil is to be halted in the continent's oldest national park in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Virunga National Park is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is home to more than 200 endangered mountain gorillas. UK-based oil firm Soko International made the concession after the World Wildlife Fund filed a complaint that the company was violating good business practice guidelines. The World Conservation Group has now agreed to drop its case against Soko. In a joint statement, Soko and the WWF said they look forward to working responsibly with the Democratic Republic of Congo and its people to ensure that future development benefits both people and the environment. The 7,800 square kilometer Virunga Park is one of the most ecologically diverse places on Earth, but it suffered from years of lawlessness and conflict between armed groups in the region. More than 50,000 families also depend on the park's Lake Edward for jobs, food, and of course, drinking water. We're in Eastern Africa. Now, an Egyptian court has sentenced one of the country's most prominent pro-democracy activists, Alaa Abdel Fattah, to 15 years in jail for illegal protests and attacking a police officer. Mr. Abdel Fattah's family said the verdict was issued in absentia as it was refused entry into the court. Mr. Abdel Fattah played a key role in the 2011 revolt against Hosni Mubarak. He was arrested in November after taking part in a protest calling for the repeal of a new law that banned unauthorized demonstrations. The sentence comes 3 days after ex-army chief Abdel Fattah al-Sisi became president. Authorities have cracked down harshly on Islamists and secular activists since former President Mohamed Morsi was removed by the military in July last year. Hundreds of people have been killed, thousands more arrested. The United States is protesting against the expected election of Uganda's foreign minister as the UN General Assembly president in New York.